again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of Clockwise Thoughts. We have a couple special guests today. We have Lizzie, who is our social media expert. She's helping us out, getting everything nice and neat. And then once again, we have Monk this week. Monk decided to return. He says he has a couple interesting ideas and interesting thoughts. So this week is all about upbringings. Everybody's upbringing is different. We may have some overlap. We might not. So to start it off, we're gonna let Monk go first with upbringing and how he and what he thinks upbringing is and what it should be. Monk?
It should be whooping your children because most of these people be letting their kids run wild and doing some dumb stuff.
Okay.
And I was raised by the military rules of if you don't listen, you gonna get whooped or you gonna start doing planks or wall sits or whatever the crazy man can think of.
Okay, so I guess it's cool to say that you believe in structure, structure and discipline is the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Scout, you want to piggyback off of that? Since I take it he's talking about you being a crazy man?
Yes, I was crazy, man. Because being active duty, your whole entire family active duty. So when him and his brother wouldn't listen, it's wall planks, overhead arm claps, burpees, dive bombers, whatever else that I could think of. That yeah, they get it in.
You are diabolical.
No, because
Yeah.
I look like this. The way how I was raised was kids were meant to be seen, not heard. Or, you don't get in grown folks' business. Because my grandmother was the one lady that be in church and you try to fall asleep. She going to slap you with the tambourine and don't miss a beat in her song. I watched my brother get lit up that way before. So the same, look here. I'm not saying what Joe Jackson did to Michael and them was right, but he beat stardom into them kids. So you cannot be mad at the process. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm not mad at the process of mine because let's see. Okay. 3 right now are in college. He's getting ready to finish up high school, and their sister who is 4 already know you will get the race. Woo! House of Craig over here is House of Pain. I'm trying to tell you, because I know you won't.
Sounds so unfair.
So, Black, what about you? I know you're a father as well, so you may have some insight in, what do you think about upbringing? Do you think that plays a role in, or should go back to playing a role in today's society and how things are going?
Well, I mean, I look at it like this: with the way situations is going on right now, with the heightened awareness of mental health, everybody's kind of like, kid gloves, kind of afraid to, almost in a sense, afraid to question accountability in kids today because everybody's so like emotionally fragile. I'm not trying to be mean when I say that. It's just I'm being honest. Like,
don't be mean. These kids out here soft and toe tissue.
Growing up, see what I mean? Growing up, you know what I mean? It wasn't even necessarily the harshness or the severity of punishment to getting in trouble. Growing up with my grandmother, shout out to you, Mrs. Archer, the most important thing that you were taught was accountability. And in that aspect, it's kind of a weird structure. It was a structure, but it was kind of a weird structure. My grandmother is the general. There is no one's authority that supersedes the general. No one. You can argue with your mom, you can argue with your dad, but you can't argue with my grandmother. Not at all. Although her judgment is final, literally, and probably requires little effort from any outside source, my grandmother will give you the ability to argue your point. With that being said, if all of your bases are not covered, if your argument holds no substantial weight, which you'll know this before you open your mouth, You can either catch the Old Faithful that she puts on the kitchen table, or you might gain leniency. You can't overturn a verdict, but you might gain leniency. So, I mean, for me, with my son, I try to explain it to him in the same aspect. It's like, look, if you want to argue your point, I completely understand that. But you can't argue your point without being accountable, because then you're not arguing facts.
Okay.
So, yeah, as far as that, you know, it wasn't, you know, growing up in the 90s, it wasn't necessarily a crime to challenge a kid's accountability. It wasn't a crime to say, hey, you know what? If you knock the cup off the table, you knock the cup off the table. You have to own up to that. And if that means wiping it up, guess what? That's what comes with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And in today's society, not to say that we've lost that, but I believe we've kind of backed up from it a little bit.
So wait a minute, because I think I had a technical difficulty in my headset for a brief moment. You said you're going to allow the child to argue a point? That's what you said?
No, this is what my grandmother did.
Okay. Because I was getting ready to say, because no.
That ain't happened to me. That's unfair.
No. Understand.
Your point is what I tell you your point
Understand.
gonna be, and that's what it is.
Understand what I mean when I say argue the point. It's as simple as, okay, what did you do? What should you have done? Why didn't you do that? The why didn't you do that is where you actually get to argue the point. That's where, is this a legitimate reason or not? That's what I mean by you get to argue your point. You're going to be questioned, but depending on your actual reasoning, depending on, can you rationalize the fact that, okay, were you at fault? Were there circumstances beyond your control? You know, were you making excuses, or were you being accountable? That's what I mean.
Okay, because we only have one rule over here. Don't start the fight, but you better not lose the fight, because that means you're going to lose.
Again,
that was it.
That looks like 3 rules.
Again, the general's verdict, the general's rule is unchallenged. Like, let's not get this misconstrued. You cannot override the general under any circumstances.
Okay.
But she's at least fair enough to say, okay, can you properly articulate what happened? Are you cognizant of where you went wrong, or are you just trying to make excuses?
The latter.
We didn't get that, because I'm gonna tell you what you did wrong is I'm hitting you. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna tell you 100%. I mean, what you did wrong.
But I mean, I know you.
And then I'm gonna rebuttal with another hit, because you should have did this.
All right.
But I know you guys have noticed in conversational patterns when we speak how it literally seems like I go through a checklist of everything possible when I'm having a discussion. Yeah, that's because this is what you had to do.
Like, okay, got you. So your upbringing was one that's like, yeah, you can mess up, but do you know why you messed up? And then you're probably gonna get it. Okay.
Look, his was the legal system. Mine's just the penal system. You
Scout. So
yes, he is. Lizzie, ask him. He'll tell you you're gonna get knocked over here.
Lizzie, what about
Black, your system seems fair. Mine was not.
Hey, hold on.
I preach fairness over everything. Listen, fair is fair, even if it's not fair to you in the moment. Remember those words.
It wasn't fair to me in the moments.
Hey guys. Lizzie, go ahead.
My upbringing was very structured at times, and then other times creativity was a thing. There was no, I mean, we did get to, question, my parents' decisions. I don't have any children myself, currently, or future.
Was right. You good? But don't worry about it.
But I mean, how I believe upbringing should be is I do agree with Black Man with there should be, yes, there is accountability, but I also think you should be able to try and prove your point on why you messed up. Like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Because kids have weird minds, and sometimes you have to get creative with why did they do something dumb?
I do get creative. It's called act right.
You guys are lucky. Well, not
I'm a
you.
creative, give you some ad right.
Reed, did you say lucky?
Yeah, I just thought about it. That's why I was like, not you, Monk. You're not.
Yeah, I was not. It was called you get the military rule.
Yeah, I guess I'm the outlier. Like my upbringing wasn't structured. You know, I didn't get a chance to challenge anything that my parents said, but it was very much, you know, you live by the golden rule. You treat people the way you want to be treated, and that was it. You know, if somebody talks to you out of line, you know, I'm a baseball fan. My dad believed in the three strikes rule. Three strikes and you out. Dad, what does that mean? He got three times to say something, and then that's that. Oh, does that count for me? No, that counts for people you interact with. Oh, but with me, my dad was very wait till we get home.
Same.
I said hi to the man. Wait till, and I
What
got
you mean, wait? Ask him what happened at a baseball game.
no.
Hey,
My
wait.
dad wouldn't. He wouldn't discipline us outside of the home. It's his thing was I will never disrespect myself or my kids outside. But once we got back to the house, oh, that's it. You can run, you can hide in the closet. If I gotta open that closet door, it's gonna hurt more. What do you mean? You ever seen somebody punch through a closet door?
Mm-hmm.
Now put your hand down. You punch through
You
everything.
ever seen that? It's not a wait until you what?
Right. So
Reed, you lucky. You gotta wait until you get home to get your whooping.
yeah, but
Imagine getting your whooping in
Stupid, right,
private.
Richie? You want to act retarded in public? I can act retarded in public.
but that's the thing. It's never.
That's some unfair.
But then again, my mom and dad came from a different generation. You know, like they were born in. I want to say my mom was born in like 40. My dad was born in 45. So that's a completely different era. That's a different generation. Now, me, I do believe that, you know, kids, depending on the situation, they probably need to be folded like a fresh pair of jeans. I will say that. Sometimes you have to crease them.
Crease
like,
at the middle.
yeah, right there, right there. But that's my opinion. So, you know, to keep going with this, man, because I do feel like this is a good conversation. This is an interesting conversation because we have, you know, just about all the spectrum ages covered. We got Monk who's 12 years old and Scott who's 63. So
I just turned 41. You need to go. So
I'm 15. Don't you?
oh, my
Very
bad.
close to 12.
Right, see, 12.
No, not close to 12. Not close to 12.
Yeah, so Black, chime in because it looks like you itching to say something. Right.
No, I'm just saying, like, I feel, because, I mean, like I said, I got my son's 9, so yeah, he just turned 9 this year. God, time flies.
He's fine.
Look, I oftentimes try to explain or convey this to people when it comes to raising my son. And I know this is probably going to sound off the deep end, except I know Scout got my back, so I'm all good with this one. Listen, Grandma tried to explain this to me in my early teens, and I didn't understand it until that one day I woke up and everything made sense in the world. With raising children, there are two elements that you need, as weird as this is going to sound: fear and respect. And I'm going to explain why. Before the age of 14 minimum, usually for the most part, a child has a hard time understanding, fully grasping what the concept of respect is. Because at the same time, they're still trying to struggle with being in a child's place. So unfortunately, what keeps them in line to a degree is a fear of consequence. I mean, it's going to do that for forever in life, but you're going to have to instill that as the foundation in the beginning. As they grow older and they're able to understand more worldly things, the concept of respect will then take effect, where it's, okay, now I understand. You know what? Thinking back, I probably wasn't good at making my own decisions. So when you and I disagree, mom, dad, what have you, It's not that you were trying to stifle me. You saw the field long range. Where I was only 10 yards down, you were looking in the end zone like, I see what's coming. But again, a lot of people don't necessarily get that opportunity, much less someone that's really invested in them to say, look, this is how things are going to work later on. You know what I mean? I've often looked at it like, in a sense, a lot of people try to be their kid's best friend, but then you run into the conundrum of, you've, in a sense, given a child a voice. Going back to what Scout said, being seen and not heard. You've given a child a voice. All right, your friends, blah, 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 blah. What happens when you have to actually be the parent now? Now you have to try and explain that, you know what, we was cool and kiki and everything, but now you kind of have to listen to me. Now, see, a kid's not really going to understand that because they're not able to grasp the difference in roles, the difference in respect you have to have. So in a sense, it's almost like if we remove the different options and point you in one direction, then as you get older, we will gradually open your eyes to more things.
Interesting.
Am I, is that?
No, it makes sense. It's just, I've never heard it explained that way before. Like, I have no kids, but I am the world's greatest uncle. I can say that hands. I am the world's greatest uncle. Monk, shut up. So I
beg different because he loved his Uncle John to death. Like that man.
But see, I understand that. So I take that role as disciplinarian of my niece, even though she's 20 something years old. I told her I will still break you. I don't care what your mommy and dad do. I will break you. Same thing with my nephew who's away at Xavier. I will drive to Xavier and I will break my foot off in your, asterisk in the middle of class. I have no problem with that. And it goes down the line because you're not
go back to Xavier.
Dude, like, I have no problem with being that disciplinarian when I see their parents not doing the thing that they need to do. Like, I'll pull them aside and be real quick with it. I ain't grew up this way. Your mom ain't grew up this way. Your daddy ain't grew up this way. You do this, I will beat you in front of them and then say I did it and take you to get ice cream and tell you why I did it.
Okay, but Reed, do you think that's fair for you to do it instead of the parents? Or do you think the concept it takes a village to raise a child?
I hate that it takes a village to raise a child concept. I do.
I say it takes a family to raise a child, just a family.
And it does.
No shape, form, or
Zeus
fashion.
feels the same way about that.
So, and I'll say this, it takes a village to raise a child. It gets on my nerves because you're letting more people in to a close-knit circle and they're finding out issues that are going on within that environment, within that ecosystem, issues that you guys are already working out. So if somebody is on the outside telling your kid, hey, you should do it this way, that's contradicting what's going on in that ecosystem you have already with that family environment. If everybody's on the same, this is how we raise them.
Could village be a pseudonym for family?
I think it is. I think it's the parents. I think it applies to teachers because they're also raising your kid. They're teaching your kid. They're teaching them everything that they should learn and know how to do. So I think that the village, it's not like an actual freaking village.
Right.
It's everyone that the kid grows up with.
No,
your community shapes you either way.
Right. Like I said, I get that concept, but the smaller ecosystem is what I'm more focused on. And once again, staff's been preaching this since day one. It's all about home training. You can get extra training away at school, but it starts at home. If your ecosystem at home isn't correct, then whatever they're telling you outside at school is going to run a course and is going to conflict with what you're being taught at home. So that's why I'm like, I don't like that whole concept of it takes a village to raise a kid.
I agree with you, Reed, but I also can say I disagree because I tell his friends on the regular, I will knock you the hell out and won't care. because
They
I
be
let them
doing
know
that.
if you come to my house and you ain't got no act right, I don't have a problem with snatching you. I don't. And he know it be coming because he be like, ooh, I told you don't do that. Because what? It was an incident in South Carolina. He was telling the little girl next door, don't kick the ball over there because if you break the window, dad's going to come out the house. Before you know it, next thing I know, I'm looking at a soccer ball in my lap. I said, okay. She's like, I'll run to you. Can go run to your mama. I'm about to light the brakes. Woo!
But now,
But it
yeah, go ahead.
but it's just like how you said, it does go back to that home net, them initial rules. And it all depends. What it basically goes down to is it's an individual thing, but it all depends what you want. We all get caught up nowadays and we always want more for our child than what we want. The same way how our parents wanted more. But at the same note, you got to look at that. If you're a doctor or a successful lawyer, they're going to classify your child as a privileged child. To the parent whose mom or dad is a drug dealer or a dope fiend, it's different sets of rules. But my thing is this. It shouldn't be a different set of rules. I don't care if you got all the money in the world, your kid never have to want for anything. Do not let them think that they're better than somebody else. Because that goes until they're an adult to be like, well, I know I'm better than you. Why? Because I've had money all my life. That money ain't gonna save you if I knock you the mess out, now is it? You can lay on the pillow like Scrooge McDuck and you can have your money.
It'll break the fall.
Scrooge McDuck ain't do nothing to you. Leave that man alone.
That's why I'm mad. He could have sent me a check, but anyway.
Terrible.
But it boils down to the home training. You gotta initially have that initial structure of how I would say moral foundation for not only you, because you can't just keep the thing. Why I don't like what parents say, and I hear it all the time is, well, do as I say, not as what I do. You're contradicting yourself
That's a
and
bad
you're
example.
confusing that child, right? So you confusing your own kid. No, why don't you try this for a term? Practice what I preach. If you don't see me out here, yelling and acting a fool, drinking, doing whatever else, acting stupid all the given time, and cutting up, no. It starts with hold yourself accountable first as a parent, and then your kids can follow suit.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. But very, very good points. Very good points. Anyone else have anything to add?
I think he might have covered everything on this one.
No, dang, Scott. You really, grab the bull by the horns, what they say.
Give your kids some act
He
right.
was
That's
in
all
the
I'm gonna
mood.
say. Act
He
right.
was in one of his moods.
Yeah. But I mean, I do believe that children nowadays are a lot looser. They are a lot freer with the things that they can do. And it's because parents have
Participation trophies.
Patients don't know how to put a can of whoop on them.
something else to say or call the participation trophies, but I can't say it. I'll text it to you later, and then you'll get it and laugh with it. But
I'm sorry. We need to cut.
no, but
Not
it's
to get off track. Cut that out. Look, every kid ain't good enough to play. That's why we have tryouts. Cut them. Look. All the time, Tommy Little Round Boy can't be on the basketball court or whatever else. Talking about, well, he made the team. He should play. No, look, it's called a bench warmer for a reason. Stop all this nonsense.
Water boy.
Everybody got to. No, I'm gonna just say it how it is because I'm getting tired of seeing my kids talking about, well, Dad, we was up until we had to put,
Little Timmy in.
mm,
They want to
and
say it.
and then you sitting down, you looking like, well, little Timmy can barely tie a shoe. How you expect for him to dribble the ball? And we had a 20-point lead at halftime. Why is we down by 6? Like, no, I'm sorry.
Equal opportunity.
That's where I grew up on the old school. Look, I'm gonna step on your neck and I'm gonna keep my foot on your neck. You don't need all that. What did they say?
That sounds like
Mr. Craig. Every child should play.
Every child should not play. They are not benefited enough or talented enough.
you. Oh,
Sit
okay.
down.
Wow, you guys are just evil with the.
Brutal.
For real.
I'm telling the truth.
But I like the back and forth dynamic between the two of them. It is funny.
Yeah, that is good. It's like watching Pong, just ping, ping, ping. But
This happens. Look, man, this happens in my household all the time.
I believe it.
Because that Turkey Bowl tournament is coming up, and
And you gonna lose.
reigning champ over here. For the last few years running.
See, but I didn't play in the last one, so you're not gonna win.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you do have father and son going back and forth.
I like turkey.
Once again, this is upbringing. This is how it goes. Because one of them is gonna do dive bomb push-ups. When they move.
And it ain't finna be me.
I already see it.
I'm not moving.
But
you kind of see the dynamic that I'm talking about. How as you get older, you understand the concept of respect.
Yeah. No,
I put that from day one.
What you mean? It's a can of get a whooper.
A what?
Yeah. I can't say it, but it's a can of getting whooped. Okay.
Got you.
You should know what I mean.
Oh.
I understand.
See,
I understand.
I'm gonna say this little scenario. The first time that he ever act out, and it was kind of wrong, was at a baseball game in South Carolina.
Kinda wrong.
Well, I'm gonna say why. My rule is this: if I bring you to an event, don't go ask a stranger for not a nair thing.
I remember this.
So yes,
we don't need to talk about this story.
Yeah, so my commander just said, "Oh, he is so cute. I'm gonna buy him this, and this." And my older son looked at him. He said, "Don't do it. Don't." He gave him forewarning. Don't do it. So he come back to the seat with my commander, and I said, "Hey man, you sitting there eating ice cream?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "I ain't buy you no ice cream." And then my manager was like, "No, I bought him some ice cream and I got him this big bear and stuff." I said, "Well, thank you, sir. He ain't taking it home." He's like, "But no, I bought sir, no disrespect. Matter of fact, we getting ready to leave right now." He was like, "But Dad, my ice cream." I handed the major the ice cream, and walking through the stadium, I could tell one time. No, you don't. And ever since then, he will not. And he was 3 at the time. He will
I
not.
remember the orange belt when we got home. Unfair.
Yeah, my PT belt.
And them things hurt more than regular belts. It's not fair.
Old reliable. Old faithful.
Terrible. But
it's called sometimes you need a whooping.
Yeah, sometimes you
But
do.
that time I did not need a whooping. I was just being a great 3-year-old. With
well,
my
look at it like this. You got one in the top.
Right. Now, I'll go back to something we said earlier because it stuck out to me. It really stuck out to me. And it was, I believe it was Black who said this. And it's the thought and concept of parents being friends with their kids. And it does annoy me because the dynamic changes like Black said, but it's not just the dynamic changing. He touched on it briefly. It is the total lack of respect that comes with it once you cross that threshold and you are friends with your kids. Now, once they get older, 18, 19, we'll even say 23 and up. It's completely different because that dynamic can change. But I do believe, and this is me, you can agree, you can disagree. I do believe with everything that's going on now, that is an issue with upbringing. Because we have too many friends and parents that are one and the same. There's no clear distinction with I'm the parent, you the kid. As Scout says, you need to be seen, not heard. There's a time and a place. It's not the time, it's not the place. You need to do what kids do. Go outside and play. You can't have a PlayStation today. Go outside, get some air, get some color, get your clothes dirty, do something.
Can I piggyback off of that?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, it's exactly what you were saying because actually, Rhea and I both know a guy who has called his mom by his first name.
Her first name.
By her first name. She
I
was
got
never
one then.
mom. He like both of his parents, like he never called them mom or dad. And which is it's terrifying to me. Like still calling my mom by her first name is weird. But like
I think it's
they
hilarious.
have
You said that, and his face was like, "Oh my god."
yeah.
That doesn't
But like
what?
they're friends, but like he will bully his mom into doing something like you would do to a friend. And or like he'll be like, "Oh no, let's drink, let's do this, like let's do things that are, not PG-13." But he will bully her into going out to dinner, buying stuff for him, and they don't have that relationship of having like mom be like, "No." And to me that's wrong.
Yeah,
I think it's wrong to all of us
This
right
mama
here.
real quick. That's what I think.
once again, that line was never drawn.
Yeah.
That line need to be
Oh, it's
drawn.
never too late. It's never too late.
Oh,
It's
no,
never too
I
late
don't
to
think
put a
that's
belt.
ever gonna happen, unfortunately, with this kid.
Yeah, like
Oh no,
33
probably
years
not at
old.
this point.
yeah,
Yeah, not at this
Oh,
point.
yeah, it will. Look, give me one good week. I promise you. Yeah, it will.
not
Not even a
Stop.
week. We need about 3 days.
not it's
It's a weird,
it's the that whole family dynamic is weird.
very strange. Everyone blames
You already
everything on the
said give
mom.
us 3 days. 3 days. Yeah,
The whole family dynamic is weird.
3 days of that PET belt. Get you real nice. Get you real nice.
It's not even worth it. It's not worth it.
It sound worth it because he need a can
Be
of the
quiet.
whoops.
You 12. Hush.
I mean, actually, I do agree with Monk. Yes, he does need a can.
Yeah,
Hey man, you need a keg at this point.
Yeah. But it goes
I
back
will
to
hand him the whole service. Just pass it over to
Six
me.
pack already cracked.
like I believe Scout said that line was never drawn. Sometimes you can save it and you could draw that line, but sometimes that line is so far gone that it's what do you do in that situation, that scenario. I know I can't call my mom or my dad or my auntie or my grandma by their first names, because if you do, death is included in that right away. I think I've died 173 times. I think.
Ra's al Ghul, huh?
Man, dude, I got the Lazarus pit behind me, but I've died on multiple occasions. Scout, I'm pretty sure you've come close to dying. If you done.
Yeah. No, we ain't gonna, cause she over there. No. Hi, ma. No.
She over there. Yeah. So it's.
I didn't know her first name until I was literally 16 years old. And I
I can
had to tell
understand.
the
I
driver
can
instructor,
vouch for that
give
too.
my driver's license. What's your mother's first name? I was like, Mom. He was like, no, for real. What's your mom's first name?
I didn't know my parents had first names until I turned 21. I thought it was a joke.
I knew their names, but I ain't say them. That's a death wish.
Mart.
No.
No, he knew. No, he seen his older brother mess up one time.
Caught them
Called their
hands.
Yeah, called their mom by her first name. I had to pick my oldest son off the floor. I said, oh, what happened? You woke, son?
You killed somebody? Oh,
He
wow.
wasn't woke at that moment.
Oh no.
No. Because
He
everybody in
needed
the
a
family
chat
can
of
box.
remembrance.
Yeah, that whole formality of a first name with family is serious. Look, I was at my grandmother's pastor or rector. I'm not sure how they describe it in the Episcopalian faith, but it was his going away dinner. He's from Trinidad, and you know, it's a nice little dinner. You know, not too formal. You know, friends, family, congregation from the church, and as this man is standing next to me and he keeps calling my grandmother by her first name, I promise you, like nails on the chalkboard, to the point where I bring my grandmother outside and I'm like, look, I'm sorry. I know this is going to sound rude. I get that the man is anointed. But grandma, if he call you by your first name one more time, I'm going to bring him outside. And you understand, if the rest of us were here, we would all be saying the same thing. Can you please tell the man to stop doing that? It doesn't sound right. Grandma looks at me and she goes, at least I know I raised y'all properly. I understand your sentiment, but when I'm on my deathbed and he's reading me my last rites, he will address me by my first name. But I'm glad to see that what I put in you, it still carries even to this day. I'm like, yeah, it just makes me feel uncomfortable to hear someone call you by your first name. Because, you know what I mean? Like I said, we don't do that.
Now if I'm calling my mother or my father by their first names, it's because I've said mom, 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 mom,
Yeah.
mommy, mom,
Yeah.
mom,
Hey,
mom,
Stewie.
lady. Right, then I call her by her first name. Then what? I'm gonna keep, no. I just wanted to let you know that dinner's ready. That's it. It's just to get attention. It's not a whole. Hey,
Oh, yeah, of course.
it's quick. I need your attention. Don't kill me. And that's how that conversation goes.
Nope, I'ma tap on you until you pay attention. I'm not. I'll take the
That's
punching
because
from
you
you
tall.
instead of saying your name.
He knows not to tap on me.
I mean, when you get older, it's better.
Like your shoulder's just gonna go numb in that one spot. Like, hey.
Get bruised.
I catch you off guard like that.
Yeah, man. I do want to say, thank you guys for joining us tonight. So, my final question.
Yes, Alex Trebek. We'll go ahead. Check with it.
Upbringing a thing that is lost altogether, or can proper upbringing be returned to the point where everybody understands what needs to happen, what needs to go on, we can continue to move forward? Please don't everybody speak at once.
I mean, upbringing, like we said before, it's so different compared to each person that.
Yeah, it's fluid.
Yeah, I mean, having it go become, something, what was it, getting it better, it's going to keep changing and evolving, honestly. And it's going to be on what our parents taught us. And if we want to do what they did for us, or if we want to change whenever we have kids or have kids. So, I mean, it's ever evolving and changing and fluid, as Black Man said. I mean, that's really what it is. Upbringings continuously change.
Okay.
Mine's not.
Well, when you have kids, you might choose to do a different upbringing.
No,
Good
we
luck
do
with that.
military style. You gonna listen today. You gonna listen today.
In that situation, it's more of a look. I had to deal with it. You gonna deal with it too.
I can.
Yep, I'm right. You gonna.
That's pretty much how it boiled down. I can understand
respect
it.
your elders. And if you don't, that is your life on their decision.
Yes, because we've already had this talk with both my two oldest, who's 22 and about to be 21, to told them both, hey, if y'all have kids, no problem. I watch, I love my grandkids, anything else. Understand. Act right. They're like, yeah, Dad, we know. Yeah, okay, fine. long as you let them know, act right.
I know if I
'Cause
don't
I'ma
teach him
find
act
Yeah.
right, he gonna teach him act right.
Pretty
yes.
much. That's what I'm saying. It's well taken care of.
Cause excuse my French. My cousin Horse says like this: you came from these, and I treat you the way I please.
Yeah,
I like it. I'm a
Never
fan.
mind.
it's pretty much I brought you into this world and I will take you out and then some. I get it.
Yes.
I rocks with it.
Oh man, I've
Slap the
heard that
fire
line
out you.
more than 10 times. Dang.
You haven't died yet, so don't.
Huh? I don't know about that one.
Yeah, you ain't
I
died.
might have just came back. God ain't want
Nah,
me.
you just got to know the arguments you can't win.
Nah, God said he ain't want me yet, so he sent me back.
On that note,
Sometimes you have to know when to drop your flag and withdraw.
See, I stand by, I will never surrender.
no, you.
So,
On that note, from
That's
the
my fault.
yeah, you
I will not admit defeat.
died a few times. I can see it now. Monk, you may die in the near future, but it's cool. We'll learn.
I come back, it be alright.
You're gonna learn from that. You're gonna say things not to do. You're gonna have a notepad. It's gonna have like 9,000 pages of things not to do.
9. I'm still working
Everything
on mine. I think he
involving.
got like 30.
30
Cause
already?
mom, hey, no, mom's hand is still. Don't let it fool you.
Oh, she still got the fast fingers. Hit you with a wop wop upside your head.
I've heard stories. I've heard stories about how you young one, young Padawan, uh,
Padawan.
yeah, Monk might die before the year's over with. But on that note, I do want to thank everybody for joining tonight. Scout, once again, thank you for being here. Monk, Lizzie, thank you both for being guests tonight.
Most of. Thank you.
Your insights were completely different from ours. Monk, especially yours, because you're still 12 years old and you came from a military family.
You keep calling me 12, we gonna have a problem, sir. I will come
13.
to your address.
Lizzie,
I'll
your
give it to you.
is also
I know his
We know
address.
we got it.
If you don't call me 15, we gonna have a problem, sir.
that's all right. All right.
I'd like to thank Black for being here because that's what he
Ain't
forgot.
nobody say
I'm
anything
just here.
about black. He just chimed in and said thank you when his name was not said.
So I do
I
want
thank
That's
Black
me.
for being here.
to everybody watching. Thank you for watching Clockwise Thoughts. And as always, a clock is only right twice a day. So why not be right all the time? We'll catch you next time as the clock resets, rewinds on Clockwise Thoughts.
Give your kids some act
Good night,
right.
everybody.